Today we are going to be reviewing Weekly Review Week 12. I labeled this wrong. But this whole weekly review is all about proportional relationships, which it seems like we needed a little refresher on. So number 1 says, a bread company makes wheat dough and rye dough each day. The company makes 15.2 pounds of wheat dough for every 9.5 pounds of rye dough. When I see for every, I should be thinking about, oh, this is a proportion. So they make 15.2 pounds for every 9.5 pounds. So let's create our proportional relationship table. My 2 units are wheat dough and rye dough. And I know when the company makes 15.2 pounds of wheat dough, they make 9.5 pounds of rye dough. Then my question is, how many pounds of wheat dough does the company make for each pound of rye dough? If I see the word each, I should be thinking for every 1 pound. So I'm trying to figure it out for 1 pound of rye dough. So I need to ask myself, is my unit going to be with the rye dough or with the wheat dough? And if it's rye, I'm going to put it for 1 pound of rye dough. Then I need to figure out, how do I get from 9.5 to 1? I should be thinking that 9.5 is larger than 1, so I know I need to divide by something. But if I don't know what to divide by, remember we can use multiplication here. And then I would do 1 times 9.5. which gives me 9.5, so then I know the inverse of that is dividing by 9.5. I can double check my work and make sure 9.5 divided by 9.5 is 1, which it is. So then I need to know to divide this by 9.5. So then I do 15.2 divided by 9.5, and I should get 1.6. So then the question is, how many pounds of wheat dough? I just figured out 1.6 pounds of wheat dough for each pound of rye dough. Then I can double check my work, make sure that 1.5 is lined up with 1. I followed the same relationship, so I know that those are proportional. Now let's look at question number 2. It says, the tables show the cost for different number of song downloads. Which table shows a proportional relationship? So I need to think, it's telling me a proportional relationship. What is my equation for a proportional relationship? Hopefully we remember the k equals y divided by x, or my proportion or constant of proportionality equals y divided by x. So then let's go around. This is always my x, this is always my y on a table. So I'm going to label all of my x's and all of my y's. And then we're going to figure out the proportional relationship. So I'm going to do y divided by x. Each one of these I'm going to be dividing, and if they have the same constant of proportionality or the same k, then I know that it is a proportional relationship. So I'm going to do 3.5 divided by 2, and I get 1.75 is my value of k. Then I do 7 divided by 4, and I get 1.75. 8.75 divided by 5, 1.75, and 13.25 divided by 5, or divided by 7. So then, if I get 13.25 divided by 7, I get 1.89. So I should immediately think this is not a proportional relationship. My constant of proportionalities do not line up. And this is asking which table shows a proportional relationship. So then let's go on to the next one. I'm going to do 3.5 divided by 2. Oh, okay. I'm getting 1.75 again. Then I'm going to do 8 divided by 4, I get 2. This automatically tells me that there is not a proportional relationship between these. So I can say no to this one. Then let's look at this. It says 3.5 divided by 2, and I get 1.75. 8 divided by 4, whoopsies, 8 divided by 4, and I get 2. Okay, again, knocks it off. That is not a proportional relationship because they do not have the same case. And last but not least, let's look at D. I would do 3.5 divided by 2. Remember, we're doing y divided by x every single time. I get 1.75. 7 divided by 4, I get 1.75. 8.75 divided by 5, 1.75. And last but not least, 12.25 divided by 7, and I get 1.75. All of my constant proportionalities equal the same value, so I know that D is representing a constant proportionality, or a proportional relationship. Next, let's look at 3. It says a graph is shown. What is the unit rate? If I see unit rate, I should be thinking for 1 of something. 1 is a unit. What is the unit rate in miles per hour shown in the graph? So I'm trying to think of miles per hour. When I'm trying to figure it out per hour, I should be thinking 1 hour. So then let's look at our graph. I see miles and I see hours. Let's try and just see if I find 1 hour, if it's going to be an equal value. Oh, look at that. So I just found 1. I see that 1 hour is 3 miles. So I can say my answer is 3. I can also look and remember, I need to just find a point that hits x and y at the correct spot. If I wanted to, I can do y divided by x here to find my unit rate. So I could do 6 divided by 2 to get my 3. Remember, this is y divided by x. And my constant of proportionality is also known as my unit rate. So my unit rate for miles per hour is 6 divided by 2, or I could do 3 divided by 1. Each time I get 3. Is there another point? Y9, 3x, 9 divided by 3. All of these are giving me a constant proportionality of 3. Next, let's look at question number 4. It says, Malik fills a pool with water. It takes 1/4 of an hour to fill the pool with 150 gallons of water. What is the unit rate? Again, I see the word unit rate in gallons per hour. If it's asking gallons per hour, I should be thinking for 1 hour. Then I can make my table. I have 2 units. I have hours and I have gallons. Every time we see 2 units, I should be thinking, oh, I might be making a proportional relationship, but definitely if it's asking for the unit rate, or if it's asking point blank for the proportional relationship, we should know that we need to make a table here. And then I know it takes 1/4 of an hour to fill the pool with 180 gallons of water. And then I'm trying to figure out my gallons per 1 hour. So I'm trying to figure it out for 1 hour. Then I need to figure out, how do I get from 1/4 to 1? I should realize that 1/4 is smaller than 1, so I need to multiply by something. But if you don't know, you can do the inverse here and do 1 divided by 1/4. Oopsies, 1 divided by 1/4, which gives me 4. So I know I'm going to multiply both by 4. So 180 times 4 gives me 720 gallons per 1 hour. this is my proportional relationship, which is equivalent to 1/4 of an hour is 180 gallons. Last but not least, let's look at question number 5. It says, the graph shown represents the proportional relationship between the tablespoons of baking soda X and cups of water Y needed to make a cleaning solution. The constant of proportionality is P. So it's telling me that K equals P. So then it says baking soda is my X. So my two values I have for baking soda are either A or B. And it tells me that Y is my cups of water. My two variables there are either N or M. I haven't even looked at the question. I've just taken the information and written it all down. So I am trying to figure out which of these statements are true. Remember, if it says select all, this should be like test taking strategy number 1. If it says select all, this means there's going to be more than one answer. So then I'm going to select more than one answer. I need to figure out which ones are true. So remember, my first thing, what they're trying to set up here is my my K equals Y divided by X. But we're not using the same variables, which is totally fine, but I need to figure out what my Y variables are and what my X variables are. So we know my constant proportionality, or my K, it says it right here, is P. So I know I'm going to have P equals, and then Y, the variables that represent Y are either M or N. If I look over here, we have the M and the M, so I know, let's just stick with my M. So Y divided by X, my value of X is A. So this is my Y equals KX. My K equals Y divided by X equation, just with different variables, which is totally fine. So then I need to figure out which one is that. We've got it here. Next one says, for every A cups of water in the cleaning solution, there are M tablespoons of baking soda. So let's look. For every A cups of water, does A represent my cups of water? No. So it cannot be for every A cups of water because A represents my baking soda, so this one cannot work. This one says for every B tablespoons of baking soda, so let's see. B tablespoons of baking soda. B is correct with my baking soda. In the cleaning solution, there are N cups of water. So let's follow B. Let's go up. Where my dot hit my X and my Y, it says there are N cups of water. So I'm thinking that this one is also correct, because it says for every B tablespoons of baking soda, B, there are N cups of water. Last one says for every M tablespoons of baking soda, so let's look, M tablespoons of baking soda, no, M represents my cups of water. So I should know that this one is incorrect. So that only leaves me with these two answers. Okay. Hopefully this was a good refresher of our proportional relationships. Once you finish this, make sure you have your corrections down and you can turn it into the turn-in tray. Let me know if you guys, or Miss Banky know if you guys have any questions about this. Have a great rest of your day.